word.
Oh.
Right along with the saints, which the saints are going to what? Possess the kingdom forever and ever. Go on, brother.
Where was that?
Because, and think about this too, you know also how we're going to supersede all of these other nations anyway? Because our kingdom is going to be forever and ever. Their kingdom was only but for a temporal moment in time, as well as this kingdom was. Because this is an empire too. As a matter of fact, this is the revival version of the Roman Empire, loose in its little season, pursuant to Revelation 20, verse 4 and beyond. Go on, let's read this.
And the gold broke into pieces together and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors.
Yeah, so in other words, all of these previous empires were burnt to nothing and never to come back, never again. And as you read, it talks about, actually go read some more.
And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them.
Right, go on.
And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth.
And that stone represents Yahweh Shai. He's going to be the one to spearhead the actual kingdom. It's going to begin with him, and then he's going to set up King David, sit on the throne, and he's going to have the 12 and 144,000. That's going to be the governing body that's going to govern the next world, the eternal world. Go on, brother.
So back to Job 21 and 18.
No, go back to Daniel's. Go back to Daniel's, brother. There's a lot of meat in there. You got to get all of that meat off that bone.
Let me bring out something in Daniel's in the spirit, yeah?
Yeah, all right, go on, bro.
Daniel's 2 verse 44.
Yeah.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
That's right. Yep.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
And that's the scripture that I wanted this brother to read, but you got it. It's cool. But yeah, that's just the thing. So our kingdom is not, it's going to be for eternal. Okay, it's going to be for eternity. That's what I meant to say. And our kingdom will not be given to another people. So there's not going to be a resurrection of the Medo-Persian Empire. There's not going to be a resurrection of the Assyrian Empire, the Babylonian Empire, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire. I think I've already said it already, right? That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is our kingdom is going to overstand forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever.
Back on Daniel's 2 and 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof.
Yeah.
Before the king. Thou, O king, art kings of kings. For the power of heaven have given thee a kingdom and power, strength and glory. So
it was already set up in the spirit that we was going to be given the kingdom. But we just have to suffer for a couple of centuries, which is a short time, to the Heavenly Father. And in that time, we can experience what it means to be at the bottom, to be a no people, to be called black people, which the term black just means nothing really when you break it down. So with that being the case, we would experience poverty, we would experience oppression, and all kinds of things that we're experiencing in this world. Just so that when we get into the kingdom of heaven, we can then appreciate the righteousness thereof of the kingdom of heaven.
Brother,
beautiful things.
Through much tribulation, brother.
Exactly. Through much tribulation shall we enter into what? The kingdom. So that's a part of the tribulation. Go on, brother. Let's read this.
Well, in verse 38. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven have he given unto thine hands.
Yeah.
And have made thee ruler over them all.
In other words, we're going to be ruling over all of these other nations for eternity. And they're going to be continual tributaries under us. That's in the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter. All right, so that's all we need, brother. I tell you what, get me on Isaiah 60 and begin by reading verse 3. That's the world we're coming into, and that's why this world is breaking down. You have natural disasters that's happening on the face of the earth, from Germany to Belgium and other places, and then as well as you have the chariots being declared and shown. So all of these are just letting us know, the men of the Lord, that a change is about to come. A change is catapulting. All right?
This is Isaiah 60 and 3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light.
Yeah.
And the kings to the brightness of thy rising.
Right.
Lift up thy eyes round about.
Right, because if you look at, for example, if you look at a, if you look at the transition from a, what's it called, man? If you look at the transition from a, it's not a worm, it's just a, oh man, the word escapes me, man. The term escapes me.
You're talking about...
caterpillar?
Caterpillar, there you go. So if you look at the transition from a caterpillar to a butterfly, when it changes, there's like this catapult going on. There's a lot of drama going on, and then it buds into something beautiful. So that's what we see going on with this world right now. What's happening is the change is coming, and in the midst of that change, we're seeing a lot of drama, catastrophes, violence raising up, okay, on the earth. You have people that are stabbing each other like never before down here, and as well as you have mass shootings in America. And there's just a lot of things are going on in this world. Okay, so that's how you know that the kingdom is already being set up. A world which was already preordained and written in the spiritual realm to happen. So that's why we always say in some cases that we've already won. We've already begotten the victory. It was already written that the righteous would overcome. Yeah. Go on, brother. You got something to say?
Yeah, no, you just read my mind. Now, Elam's getting a lot of it as well. Elam, man, because
Elam, come.
I watched some of the Indian news and you got the Chinese news. But Elam, about 140 plus people dead in the floods. Yeah. And there was a train, just a passenger train just traveling, and a lion started just lick it out of nowhere, lick it off the rails. But the most, so you're talking about the judgments, man. You know, this is the if you like judgments, it's exciting times, man. We live through it and we get preserved out of it, you know. But it's exciting times now. And
it's funny because really, when you think about it, all of this bad stuff that's going on, we should actually be nervous and scared, but we're not nervous and scared. I'm not nervous, not one iota. I'm not scared at all. I actually want to see more of it. Right. Because I know what's eventually going to come after all of this mess.
This is what we've been training for. Yeah. You're going to be able to shine soon, you know. Like,
exactly.
The boxers and all the martial artists, they're training and they kind of, when they know they're prepared and they feel ready, they look forward to it. But if you ain't been prepared and you ain't been putting in the work,
you're going to be nervous, you're going to be scared.
One day if I'm going to be able to pull it off. But when you've been putting in the work, man, you want look forward to that.
You're ready to actually get into the
grand finale.
But brother, that's why that scripture says about sudden fear. Yeah.
Because the thing that we fear the most, we don't fear all of this drama that's being brought on the earth. We fear the Most High. Yeah. That's the only entity that we do fear, you know? So, hey, that's just the thing about that. That's what's going to move us forward and have us to continue doing what we're doing right now, as we're supposed to. Go on, let's read this.
Isaiah 60:3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and the king to thy brightness of thy rising. Lift up thy eyes round about, and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far. Thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then shall thy see and flow together, and thy heart shall fare and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted.
In other words, the people. There's going to be an abundance of people that's going to be converted unto us. In other words, they're going to be looking towards being our slaves and giving us their goods. And they're going to be our slaves anyway, because we're going to have absolute power, godlike power, to where they're going to have to get in line anyway. So they're going to be tributaries under us. Okay? And that's in the book of, let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, just bear me for 1 minute. It sounds like this. Those that are weakest among us shall be as David. If somebody could pull that out. And there's another scripture that I want to read, which comes after that as well. Yeah, just bear with us for 1 minute. Just got to be patient.
Yeah, there's I've got a little bit of a screenshot here. Russia flooding, suspended bridge collapse. So person was trying to go over the bridge and it just collapsed over there in Russia. There's a lot of what do you call it, out of the box or surgical strikes the Most High is doing. Like you won't hear about them unless you just pure chance. You just Most High just lets you come across it. So there's a lot of things happening, man, all at once, man. You know, these judgments. You know,
definitely. And so I found the scripture right here. I might as well read it. This is Zechariah 12, verse 8. It says, "And that day shall the Lord defend Jerusalem and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angels of the Lord before them." And that's why they're going to have to serve us. Because when the elect come together with the spiritual power combined together, we're talking godlike power. All right? So that's how you know that them other nations, they going to get in line. It's not going to be a matter of it's a choice. They going to know that, okay, you know, we got to do what these people tell us to do. Because we can get our ass fucked up. So go back to Isaiah 60 verse, what you was reading, bro.
Isaiah 60:3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light. And the kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather together themselves, like all they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far.
Yeah.
And thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then shall thou see and flow together.
Right, and then shalt thou see and flow together. Go on.
And thine heart shall fare and be enlarged.
Yeah, because we're going to be like perplexed, like, whoa, look at all of these people. What is this? What the hell? What are we seeing? We see billions of people right before us, and they're coming to us for what? But as it explains, go on.
Because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto
which represents the amount of people. Go on.
The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
Come.
The multitude of camels shall cover thee.
So as we're seeing afar off, we're going to be seeing billions of people coming towards us with all of their resources and their goods and their cattle. Now at first we're going to be like, what the hell is this? And then it's going to click because we've been reading these precepts. Oh, that's a prophecy of what Isaiah was talking about. Go on.
1 verse 6. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah.
Yeah, which is another set of camels. Go on.
All they from Sheba shall come.
That's them Arabs. Go on.
They shall bring gold and incense. And they shall show forth the praises of the Lord.
Yeah, so when they come before us and bring us their goods and plus their cattle, that's them praising the Heavenly Father, because the Heavenly Father's name is going to be placed upon his people. That's why they're going to be doing all of that. And it's all due to fear. Because what? Let me read this again. Zechariah 12 verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them in that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angels of the Lord before them. And that's why they're going to serve us. Because of that great fear. Because of the power. Because think about it, right? What made these nations to be subdued and to be told what to do by Esau? Because Esau was going around and dropping drones in certain countries. That's in the book of, if you can, brother, give me the book of Revelations.
I've got one,
You're going, brother, read that.
Precept to what you just read in Isaiah 60. Exodus 12.
It's Revelations 13 and 15.
And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians, jewels of silver and jewels of gold and remnant. And Yahweh gave them people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians.
And they spoiled the Egyptians, because when we came out of Egypt, we were what's the word I wanted to use? When we came out of Egypt, we had great resources. We didn't just go out. We didn't just go from Egypt, and we were just like naked poor. No, we had great abundance and resources.
Yeah, can I just read?
Go on, brother.
Yeah. It says, and the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. The precept. That's why it came back to what happened in
back then.
Back then. Really, that's just a way of saying that we tap out. We're tapping out. We're giving up, man. You go, man. I can't take it no more. And take everything I got too. We don't nothing to do with you guys.
Yeah, it was in haste. We wanted them out of there because they were getting jacked up by them plagues.
And you know, too, word got out that certain things was going on between the Egyptians and the Israelites. So that's when that fear kicked in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when the kingdom of heaven is set up, prior before the kingdom is set up, there's going to be a lot of drama that's going to come from the Most High himself. And people are going to be seeing from below and looking above into the heavens, and they're going to be seeing people like us getting beamed up. So when they see people like us come down on the earth with these extraterrestrial bodies, they're going to be kaput. They're going to be like, okay, all right, there's nothing we can do about it. We might as well tap out, settle down, and just play our part, man. And that's what they're going to do. Go on, brother.
Now this is Revelations. Where was it? 13 and 13.
14, 15. Yeah.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small.
Yeah, so you know what that goes into? That goes into how America is able to probably send a group of individuals to kill a certain prime minister, or drop drones on a certain country because that country is not playing ball with the policies which is coming from, you know, the American government. Like the example, you know, my personal belief.
Haiti,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, as I believe America allegedly was behind the death of that Haitian president, because the Haitian president and other countries are not playing ball when it concerns this stab and jab thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of power that even Esau has. That so much so that even these other nations, they know, okay, if we don't do A, B, and C, that same thing that happens to such and such, that can happen to me, and that can happen to my people. So I'm not going to even do. I'm not going to even do all of that. But the thing with Esau has little power. But the power that we're going to have is the power of the Most High. Think about it. Let me say what I'm saying again. The power that Esau has is little power in comparison to the power that we're going to have. But yet it's still, these nations fear Esau. They fear Esau's blessing and what could happen to them behind his blessing. So guess what? Again, as I'm going to say, we know in the spirit, and we know because what's written, that we're going to have more power than Esau. So just based on that, these other nations, they're never going to revolt against us. It's never going to happen. Because they're going to know, okay, you know what? We can't do nothing about it. They have godlike power, and it's seen, and look how they look. They look very clean and very majestic looking, and they're just righteous people. So why should we try to overcome them? So it's just not going to happen. Go on, brother. So when they see us, they're just going to result to bowing down. That's all I really need.
Let's see on that.
Yeah. That's all it's really going to take for them. When they see us, they're just going to cower down. They're not going to think about, oh, man, look at these niggas. They're not going to even think about saying that term. Because they know if they say some shit like that, they're going to get their ass whooped. So the world is going to fear the image of the so-called black man. And we're not going to be called black people. We're going to be called Israelites, the sons of God.
I got something, yeah?
Yeah, go on, brother.
Jeremiah 50:9 says, For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, their arrows. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
Yeah, and that's those missiles. And you have certain countries such as Russia and China that are aiming at America and looking towards or expecting a particular point in time for America to make the wrong move or whatever move is made so that they can go pounce on America with their weaponry. Because World War III, man, is right around the corner. But before World War III happens, obviously, there has to be this technology that's going to be pushed out there to the people, and it's going to be made mandatory. As of right now, with this this vector thing that they're telling people to get because of this virus, what they're thinking about doing sooner or later, which is what we already do in the spirit anyway, that they're going to make it mandatory for people to take. All right, and then eventually that's going to then be the vector. Is going to be the what is it? What's the word I could use? The vector is definitely going to be the precursor to the chip.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Can I add something to you? What you just said there? But there's a former NFL player talking about he's let me read it word for word because sometimes I get tongue tied.
I've got a precept for you as well.
All right, go on, bro.
Yeah,
this is 2 Ezra 16 and 13. For strong is his right hand, that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss.
Yep.
When they begin to be shot in the ends of the world.
Why will they not miss? Because the angels of God are going to be behind this nuclear war, this missile-run war, so to speak. That's why those missiles are not going to miss their target.
Yeah.
Because it was already written, like I've said, everything that's happening on this earth right now, least to the greatest of a thing, it's already been written to happen. Everything's been predestinated. Like we've been all taught in this Western Hemisphere that we all have some sense of a free will, but there's really no free will when you really check it out. Because if that was the case, there's things that people wouldn't want to do, but find themselves doing. That's how you know that there's no such. That's one thing on how you know there's no such thing as free will. Because people are doing things when they said that they weren't going to do it. People are doing things that they said that they would never do, but they're doing it. Go on, brother.
Yeah, Jeremiah carrying on. Jeremiah 50:10 says, And Childea shall be a spoil, all that spoiler shall be satisfied, save Yahweh.
Right.
Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my inheritance.
Right, and they did rejoice over our destruction. Oh yes, and what they did was they stole our resources because you know history, their history. They tell us, oh, you guys were just tossed into slavery, and that was it. But no, what they did was they conquered us from these different lands over here in the UK because there were black princes and black so-called black kings on the throne and all of this other stuff. As they know, they already know, right? And they took all of our resources, they took our gold, they took our silver, and as well as what they did to the brothers in West Africa too, they did the same thing. Okay? They had their own empires, they had their things set up in order, and they destroyed what they had and took all of their resources and their gold at the same time. And that's why Great Britain is great today.
Right, yeah.
Go on, brother.
Heritage.
So they've rejoiced in destroying our heritage. Go on, brother.
All them places like Hatton Gardens and shit. They go, oh, fucking hell, I get vexed when I walk down there.
Come
All the gold shops, and they got Amalek there.
Yeah.
Selling it back to us.
Yeah.
You know, who they stole it from. It's just a joke, isn't it?
Come.
Yeah. So, destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer.
Yeah.
At grass and below as bulls.
Right, and you know too, when you go to America, man, everything's fat. Even the road is fat. The food is fat that they sell you, and it's an abundance of everything over there. I mean, you could get any little thing you want over there. The sweets, all kinds of sweets over here. Excuse me, you can get all kinds of sweets over there. All right? Anything you want, the kind of hat you want, the kind of pants you want to wear, the kind of, like if you're a Rastafarian, they even got all the Rastafarian hats you can wear over there.
Red, gold, and green.
They got everything over there.
Yeah.
Going on.
Right, yeah. Your mother shall be sore, confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, most of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
Right, and that's America. And what it means by your mother that shall be ashamed that bare you is talking about Great Britain. And the reason why there's everything in America that you can buy, because all of these other countries ship their goods to America. More in particular, China ships their goods to America. Because if you can get a little less than 1% in America, man, you're caking. You bringing in the dough. You could start a business from the UK, and you don't have to do business where you live down here in the UK. You could set up a business over in America, and you're caking.
I got some.
Go on, brother.
Last one, 13, yeah? Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate.
It should be wholly desolate. And the nations that have done deals with America, business deals, they're gonna lose their businesses. Automatically, meaning they're gonna lose their money, and their standard of living is gonna be gone. All right. So America's everything to this world. It's a consumer-based society. So, and you know what I've just came to me just right now as I'm talking about this, because when I lived in America, I mean, there's adverts coming on like every 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they got to promote this new item, which was formulated somewhere in the sweat houses in China somewhere. So they got to sell it to you. They got so much shit that they got to sell. They got to sell all of this stuff to the people that are in America. So they hypnotize you to consume all of these goods.
It's annoying, all them adverts, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Desolate, ending it off now. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues.
Yeah. And that's where it's going to go eventually, because America became great off in suffering and the enslavement of our people. Well, first they've conquered and slaughtered the natives, which is the tribe of Gad and Reuben. Removed them to a reservation, which is a corner, a ghetto,
it's okay,
and just took over their land and used the entire land for their own good, to set up their own governments, to set up their own economy overall, and to use that economy against the same people that they've enslaved. Okay, go on, brother.
This is Revelations 18 and 10.
Yeah.
Standing afar off for the fear of our torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city.
And when you actually do the research, as I was reading in the scriptures, a couple of years back, even in ancient Babylon, you had a lot of other nations that were doing very well under the Babylonian system. So as well as you have right now, in this modern day Babylonian system, which is governed and ruled by a bunch of Edomites, you have certain nations that are actually caking, right under Esau's rulership. Go on, brother. And that's why the Chinese, when they come over here or when they go to America, they get to buy these wonderful, beautiful houses. Because they got money. Because of the business that they do with their country in America. Go on, brother.
For in 1 hour is their judgment come, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich.
Yeah.
I'm moving too fast. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
Yeah.
For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Right, because the land is going to be destroyed. As I've said, America is a consumer-based country. So if you have a business if you have a business sanctioned in America, stationed in America, and you're in a different country, you're making money. Plus the currency is much more superior. So if you live in a country that has a weaker currency and all you're getting is American, what is it? American fiat a fiat currency, which is superior for the particular moment in time, again, you're gonna live like a king in your country. Yes. On top of the fact that it's a consumer-based society. Go on, brother.
Verse 12, the merchandise of gold,
yeah,
and silver and precious stones.
And the bulk of the people that's buying up all of these goods are Edomites. Now you got certain jakes that do relatively well, one or few, but I'm not talking about these jakes. I'm talking about these Edomites. They're the ones that's buying up the best stuff because they got the money to buy it. All right, go on.
And of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk,
right,
and scarlet and thyme wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels, yeah, of most precious wood, right, and brass and iron and marble.
Yeah, so like I was saying, most of these people that are buying this stuff is Edomites because they're the ones that's prospering, they're the ones that's blessed right now, and they have they got the best jobs, and they're living their life. They're comfortable. They got money that they can. They got what you call it, man? They got the money they could put on the side. I'm looking for a word. All right, they got disposable income, so they could buy anything they want. They could buy the new Japanese Toyota Supra that came out in probably this year, the new 2021 Toyota Supra, which probably costs about $100,000. Let's just use any price tag. So they're the ones that's consuming all of the goods. But when these devils are destroyed and their whole country is eradicated and destroyed, no one's gonna buy their merchandise anymore. Go on, brother. And then therefore these countries that have been doing deals with America will become flat broke once again. Go on, brother.
And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and of flour.
And even when you go inside the stores, even down here in the UK, half of the stuff which is in your stores is coming from a different country. But more in particular America. You have all kind of resources that's coming from different countries, whether it's from South America somewhere, Chile, you may have some bananas from Chile, or you may have some oranges from Venezuela, okay?
Avocado,
and that's why America, they don't have to make their own resources because they have resources that's forcefully coming from their countries and being sent to their country. They don't have to do anything, okay? So all that has to happen is they have to train these individuals to buy up these goods because there's so much shit that's coming in. Go on, brother.
And wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots,
right,
and slaves and the souls of men.
And the souls of men. You have, what is it, sex trafficking going on as well, in some cases. All right? So there you go. Well, all of that's going to be deaded. Yeah. And then the new kingdom is going to be set up. So anyway, brother, I'll tell you what we do. Get me the book of Proverbs 15, verse 25. Somebody get me that.
Proverbs 15. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous...
No, Proverbs 15 and 25.
This is Proverbs 15 and 25. The Lord Jehovah will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow.
That's it. And that's what we're transitioning to. The Lord coming back, destroying, what is it, the house of the proud. Who's the proud? The ultimate proud nations. And every nation at one over a time or another has been proud because they've been living that good life. They've been the head. Okay? Every nation has had a chance to get their shine on. And they've been proud. But the ultimate pride of one is the Edomites. They're the ultimate ones that are very proud. So the Lord is going to destroy them. And this is referring to this particular moment in time because they are the actual proud above all of these other nations. And the proudest country in the world is America. And you can get that in the book of Daniel. Daniel specifies on the different the different beasts that came in the midst, which represents the empires. And within these beasts, you have these horns, which there's, you know, he's basically talking about the dragon. When you read somewhere down in between, okay, and there's horns. He talks about the horns, and even the horns represent certain places within that kingdom.
You got more? I got one, yeah?
Here, go on, brother. But there was a horn that Daniel said that was more stout than his fellow. That's America. America puffs itself up. When you look up that word stout, it means to be great. So they think that they're the greatest. Go on, brother, but they are the greatest, though. Go on.
2 Ezra 15 and 49. And I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste the houses with destruction and death.
Yeah, and that's eventually what's going to happen. You will have famines in this society, believe it or not. You have people, again, they think that this scenario can't happen. What's going on in Venezuela will never come here. That's what most people think. But what's been happening to the Venezuelans a couple of years ago is going to come over here. Even the Ethiopians, they're experiencing famines in their country. So all of that stuff is going to make its way, it's going to walk its way into the western shores of the world. All right? Like, for example, we're kind of going through that down here in the UK where there's not much food in the stores. But that's all due to the workers being off and being isolated. That's the reason why there's not much food in the stores. All right? I mean, we still can eat reasonably well, but it's not as much food as it was before because the workers are in isolation. Go on, brother.
50. 2 Ezra 15 and 50. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heart shall arise that is sent over. The heat, let me say it again. Of the glory of thy flower, the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman.
Thou shalt be, thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman. Give me hold on to that, brother. Give me the word in Job 18, brother. Job 18 and 12. I think it's 12.
This is Job 18 and 12.
12 or either 14. Go on, brother. Job 18, 12 is either verse 12 or verse 14.
Start at 12. His strength shall be hunger bitten.
Oh, exactly. That's what I wanted. His strength shall be hunger bitten.
And destruction shall be ready at his side.
Yeah, so go back and read that. So his strength shall be hunger bitten as what? As you just read. Let's read that again. So Esau is going to be weakened. The Most High is going to make sure that this devil is completely weakened. That he'll never glory in his power, never again. And then once he's weakened, the ultimate power, which has always been, is going to pursue this planet and shake this world, this whole entire world up, and as well as the powers that are today. They're going to be shaken. Go on, brother. That's in the book of Matthew somewhere. Go on.
Yeah, thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee.
In other words, these other nations, because these other nations are in league with these Edomites, and they love these Edomites because of their projection. So these other nations, man, they're gonna look at this man like, damn, jeez. But they're gonna be troubled as well. All right.
Can I just add a little bit?
Go
because,
on.
I've noticed a lot of these floods are hitting these, you know, these Germany, where they pure like thoroughbred Edomites. Germany, Belgium, you know, the Netherlands, pure thoroughbred. And they interviewed a woman. I was watching a bit of the news, and they interviewed a woman. The woman said, "We don't expect it to happen like this over here, like that pride. You know, we expect it." And you know, she's thinking of like them so-called third world. We expect it in them third world countries, but not here.
But you know, though, I mean, you could say it's in a sense of pride, but they actually believe that third world shit can't come over here. They actually believe in this stuff. Because think about it. I mean, if you've been